Welcome to Extraterrestrial Reality. Right now we're on our way to Kecksburg, Pennsylvania. It's their annual festival in celebration of the 1965 crash of some object that nobody still knows what the hell it is. And some people say it was extraterrestrial. Some people say it was some Russian satellite called Cosmos 96. Some people say it was one of our own secret satellites. We don't really know. We never got any answers. There were a lot of witnesses back in '65 that saw something come down from the sky in Kecksburg, landed in some woods, and nobody's ever figured it out ever since. The army showed up, the military showed up. People saw a flatbed truck flying out of there with some acorn-shaped object on the back under a tarp. Some people saw an acorn-shaped object at the scene where this thing came crashing down. The military, though, however, at the time maintained nothing came down. But all these years later, we still don't know. But anyway, I'm going out here today. We're driving out here to check it out. We're gonna hopefully talk to some people. I believe I'm gonna talk to one of the witnesses, at least one of the witnesses, at this festival that starts today, Friday the 22nd, I believe, of July today is. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna go out there. We're gonna have some. They're supposed to have some great cheeseburgers and hamburgers out there. I can't wait to try that. And hopefully, there's gonna be some people from Kecksburg I can interview and talk to and get their feelings on this. But to me, it seems just like another case of the military lying like they always do, right? All the time, like they're doing right now. We were just talking yesterday on my recent podcast about how some of the whistleblowers who were set to testify to Congress on the 26th of this month on Wednesday, they're not going to now. They're not going to testify because apparently people in the Pentagon scared them away. Just like in Kecksburg back in 1965, there were some people that were apparently, allegedly had weapons pointed at them, and because they wanted to go see what had crashed. But some military people were pointing weapons at them and told them to get lost. We've seen this movie before, folks. We've seen this movie before. But anyway, we're about to drive through a tunnel here in Pennsylvania. This is going to be pretty cool, I think. So if you ever want to have a little vacation and see some sights, I'll tell you what, the mountains in Pennsylvania, the tunnels in Pennsylvania, the lakes in Pennsylvania, it's a beautiful state. Let me tell you, folks, I love Pennsylvania. You'd love it too. This is Snuffy DeStefano, and he has his own little setup here at the Kecksburg UFO Festival, the annual festival. And so, how long have you been doing this?
I've been chainsaw carving for over 15 years, and I've been carving Sasquatches and extraterrestrials and all kinds of other weird things for about 10 years now.
Wow. And how long have you been coming to Kecksburg now?
I think I've been coming for almost a decade to Kecksburg. I might have missed 1 year.
Wow. And your business is actually, where's that located at?
My business is in Lake City, Ridgeway, Elk County, Pennsylvania. We're out in the middle of the woods. We just built a new showroom and workshop so people can come and check out some of my wares. So
some of the things that you you're inspired by Bigfoot. Have you ever seen one yourself?
We haven't seen a Bigfoot. We did hear a Bigfoot doing some yelling at us. He was roaring at me and a friend of mine kind of near my property. But me and my girlfriend and another friend had a Class A dogman sighting right in the Allegheny National Forest near our home also.
And did you ever have any UFO sightings?
We were driving down the road one day, and there was something above us blinking and doing this, and I told my girlfriend to pull over, and she did not want to pull over. So we think we did.
Well, would you mind showing me some of your
Sure.
some of the things you made?
Sure. So these are all made with a chainsaw, and then I do use a Dremel and some other smaller tools to do the eyes and different things like that. So this is a black walnut Bigfoot head. We got we're making some nice aliens here. I also specialize in burl wood, which is a beautiful hardwood that has some disfigurement going on to it, but the grain is amazing. We do some inlays and different things.
Beautiful.
Like that. This is a white cedar Bigfoot head I just carved last week at a show. Like that guy. We also make some freaky, creepy, cryptid-looking things here. We don't know what they are, but people like them, and they're kind of cool and creepy.
What was your inspiration for that?
I don't know. I just these little guys, you know, they just pull up these weird face and you put an eyes and nose on it, and bam, you're done. It's like a burnt cupcake guy or something. I don't know.
Well, you never know.
I don't know what it is.
The universe is pretty big. There might be something out there like
people. You know, I started this little piece here last year. Like, so we're gonna be carving right here also. Me and my girlfriend, we take turns carving.
And so, and this is this is like your, I guess this, you bring this, this isn't for, this is for sale.
Everything here is for sale. Yep.
Wow.
So this is like, this had to take a lot of time to make.
This is 7'6". How long do you think it took me?
A year? 2 years?
2.5 days.
2.5 days. Wow. Wow, that's pretty big.
Like that in only 2 days.
He did.
Slack and weight was a little bit longer. You know, we got 3 or 4 coats exterior polyurethane on. We put on exterior big ones. I'm in 7 different Bigfoot museums, including Loren Coleman and the Cryptozoology Museum in Portland, Maine. We're in the big Cherry Tree, Georgia, the Expedition Bigfoot Museum. We're in Cliff Brackman's Museum in Boring, Oregon. We're all kinds of places.
So, like, how heavy is this thing?
Me and the girlfriend have to pick them up and throw them back in the truck when nobody buys them. So, you know,
They usually don't buy this. They're big as
Yes. Sometimes you sell them, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you drag them around for years. Sometimes they sell right away. You know, you got to get them in front of the right customer for the right product.
Wow.
You know, people buy these smaller ones more. You know, it's not so much to spend, and you know, people can put it in their house, put it on their front porch or something like that.
Yeah, that's.
And then now we also have these beautiful guitar tables. That's a little signature piece of mine.
The guitar tables.
The guitar tables. This is solid steel, welded bases that are powder coated, and I make these beautiful guitar bodies. I'm also a singer-songwriter. I have 100 original songs.
Oh wow.
5 CDs. I carved a fiddle for Charlie Daniels, and some of my guitar tables have made it to some famous guitar players also.
Well, I think your work is really totally awesome.
Thank you,
actually,
man.
it's beautiful. Beautiful. The skulls, the aliens. There's all different kinds of aliens here. So if anybody wants to order these things, I'll leave the link. I'm going to leave the link on my site. So
They can contact me through Facebook.
They can contact you through Facebook.
Snuffy DeStefano on Facebook.
Okay. So these are some of his wares. It's pretty awesome, man. Plus he has T-shirts. Pretty awesome stuff. Kecksburg in Mount Pleasant Township, Westmoreland County, is situated along a mountain range known as Chestnut Ridge, which is located along the westernmost ridge of the Allegheny Mountains. It stretches south starting in Indiana County, runs through Westmoreland and Fayette counties, and recedes finally in West Virginia. According to information from Penn Live, it is known as the Twilight Zone of Pennsylvania, as for decades sightings of UFOs, alien creatures, Bigfoot, and other strange cryptids have been reported along the ridge. The most famous incident to occur in this region is the December 1965 crash of an object that was initially seen streaking through the skies above Canada and 6 U.S. states before finally crashing in a wooded area in Kecksburg. For the past 18 years, the town of Kecksburg and surrounding communities, including nearby Greensburg, have celebrated the event with a fundraiser for the Kecksburg Volunteer Fire Department. It attracts thousands of area residents along with many tourists interested in the event every summer. Vendors selling all types of UFO, alien, and Bigfoot-inspired products, from jewelry and books to plastic inflatables and headgear, pack the event. Looming in the wooded hills overseeing the event is a replica of the acorn-shaped object that came down from the sky in 1965. One of the people I was determined to talk to while at the 3-day event was Stan Gordon, who's been researching UFO, alien, Bigfoot, and other strange encounters in the area and throughout Pennsylvania since the 1960s. I found Stan at a table inside the community center on the event grounds. So Stan, what do you think about the when there's these sightings with UFOs and Bigfoot? What do you think is going on there?
It's a much more complex phenomena. You know, when I started this, I've been out in the field since the 1960s, and from what we knew about Bigfoot at that time, it was some type of unknown animal, some type of unknown primate, which is what we all thought. until this major outbreak began. Well, we actually began to notice strange things in 1972, but it was 1973 when we first had that massive UFO Bigfoot outbreak going on all year long, with hundreds of UFO reports across the state, many low-level, large structured objects below the ground. And then you had this major outbreak in the summer of '73 with many Bigfoot sightings, including some cases when there were 2 and 3 creatures seen together. And then as time was coming in from widespread areas, a lot of strange reports are occurring. You got to remember, it's 1973. There's no cell phones, there's no internet. People had no way to know what other people were reporting. And that's when some very strange things came to our attention. One, some of my teams, we'd be on the scene of an incident within minutes to hours, all year round, including snow. There'd be trails of footprints in different ground conditions, including snow, that would go for a distance and suddenly just abruptly stop when there should have been more tracks. That's continuing to be reported now from Miami, Pennsylvania, but around the country. And then we had very strange cases, like the one case in October 25th of '73 up in Fayette County, when I got a call from the state trooper about an incident up there where there was a multiple witness landing of a huge object on the ground and 2 Bigfoot creatures there at the same time. That was one of the strangest cases ever documented. And then other reports began to come in from widespread areas that began to indicate we're dealing with something much stranger. And I can just tell you this, we could talk hours and hours about this. These cases I wrote about in the '70s, now it's going on all over the country and around the world, similar cases of these things. There is apparently a physical and a non-physical component to it, whatever we're dealing with. For lack of a better term, I'll call it interdimensional. So I'm not suggesting that Bigfoot is flying around in a spaceship from another planet, because we don't know for sure what we're dealing with. I don't think anybody does. But the data is that these things have a physical and a non-physical aspect to them. They come and they go, they're here and they're gone. It's way beyond our scientific understanding right now, but this is showing up more and more, and it's a much more complicated and very interesting phenomenon.
And regarding the Kecksburg incident, now all of these years have passed. You still don't know what it was. Nobody really knows what happened there.
Well, we know a lot about what happened. We still don't know what the object was.
Well, that's what it is.
Yeah. And I was documenting it the day it was breaking, that evening, December 1965. I was 16 years old, already interested in the phenomenon. And I tracked down over the years hundreds of people involved in it. And I mean, there's no doubt many people saw the object over a long distance going across the sky. The object fell down not far from here into a wooded ravine outside of Kecksburg. What we now know is I found that right after the object came over this area, some of the locals who saw it fall from the sky went down into the woods right after it fell and came across a large metallic acorn-shaped object semi-buried in the ground. So this object, about 10 to 12 feet in length, about 8 to 10 feet in diameter, shaped like a big pot-gold bronze-colored acorn. But there was no weld marks, no seams, no fuselage on it. On the raised up back part of the object, he had markings that looked, some said, like ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics. And the thing that was so intriguing was the fact that you had multiple witnesses, including reporters and many others who came to the scene that night who saw the military arrive in the area. So there was military personnel here, there was Army equipment, there was Air Force people here, and many people saw this. And just to make the story short, apparently it was seen leaving the area on a large military flatbed tractor trailer truck with a tarp over it. I later learned that it went to Lockbourne Air Force Base near Columbus, Ohio during early morning hours, December 10th, stayed there under very heavy security, stayed there a short time, then went on to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base.
Wow. So do you think that, I mean, what's your personal view? I mean, do you lean in any direction on what it was? Is it extraterrestrial? Is it military? Is it Cosmos 96?
I keep an open mind to all possibilities. There have been many, many theories over the years, but none of them, first of all, there's no evidence supporting any of the theories. None of them seem to fit what we know. And there's a lot of interesting little details, and there's some which I have still not made public yet because I need more confirmation on it. But I always said could have been a very secretive, very advanced man-made space probe with some type of re-entry capability, or is it something stranger? And I think we had to keep in mind open all possibilities because we don't know for sure what it was.
What's your feeling right now on what's going on in Congress with all the action going on? There's going to be a conference, a hearing this week coming up on Wednesday the 26th. Do you see this as we're moving towards something finally?
Well, I think there's no doubt that we're beginning to see the door open a little bit. apparently there is a bipartisan effort to really get this information out, and they're very, very serious about it this time. And now next week you have this whistleblower hearing. And I think it's going to be very interesting because we already know that one of the whistleblowers who apparently has a very, it's a very well educated, he has a very high intelligence background. Apparently he's been checked out by various sources already. And apparently he's telling the public through all the news media that's been out that he's aware of the fact there's been a UFO recovery project for years and that the government has allegedly recovered certain craft that was not man-made. So people are already talking here, and others like they're wondering, well, will we learn more maybe about Kecksburg? So it's something I don't think we'll hear about in the hearing. I'd be surprised, but possibly down the road, maybe we'll hear a little more about it, and it'll be interesting to see.
So are you excited? Do you look at these as exciting times in the history of this subject and UFOs?
Oh, I think it's very historical right now what's happening, because even though over the years there have been hearings, there's been a lot of popular interest in it, we've never got to the point that we're at now. And just what's supposedly has happened now in recent weeks, you know, with the political interest in this type of thing, it shows there's serious interest to let the public know the truth about what's going on out there.
Stan, I want to say I really appreciate you giving me some time this evening, and what you just have a new book that you just came out with. What is it?
The latest book I've written. This is my fourth book. It's called Creepy Cryptids and Strange UFO Encounters of Pennsylvania, and it has some very, very strange cryptid reports, Bigfoot sightings, very close range, low-level UFO cases. Very, very interesting case, and these things are going on all the time. There's been a lot of activity in Pennsylvania year after year. I get reports. My hotline's been open since 1969. It never stops ringing with reports. And there's been a lot of activity in the last two and a half years. There's just been non-stop reports coming in. So things are happening, and I think it's time the public has the right to learn a lot more about what's going on out there, even though I'm not sure anybody has the answers, including the government.
I think you're right about that. I don't think they know either. That's my feeling on it. Anyway. I'm here with Ron Struble at the annual Kecksburg UFO Festival, and he's here selling items and all kinds of stuff you got here today, Ron. You were one of the witnesses back in 1965.
And 65, I lived in 429 Oakland Avenue in Greensburg. We heard on the radio and TV. And we come out, whenever I come out here to what is now Media Road, military was already there.
It was already there?
Yep, the military was already there.
And the military was already there?
Yes.
And did you see the thing coming down? Or?
We seen the orange streak in the sky from Greensburg on 429 Oakland Avenue.
And then what happened? Did you go check it out at the site? Or?
Yeah, me and the wife at that time, we were just married. We got married in 63. We come out in 65 to see where it went down. But we couldn't see it, but we did see the military walking around down in the hall.
But you never got to see the object yourself?
No, I did not.
Have you talked to people over the years who had seen it?
Well, we've been running this festival for 18 years, and I have a log book over here with hundreds of people that witnessed the flight of that object, whatever it was, that had come down.
Do you think that it was, what's your idea? What do you think it possibly was?
Well, I don't think it's any aliens or anything like that, but I do think it's something that either we put up or somebody else put up and they lost control of it. And something did happen in Kecksburg. It did come down in Kecksburg.
And you think that there was an effort to cover it up, not let anyone know what that object was?
For 18 years we've tried to get information on it, and there's just too many people from out of state, from Indiana, from Minneapolis, all over the country come here and state that they believe that something did happen here in Kecksburg. We have family members that were here that are gone now, that died, that went to their graves stating that they did see something come down in Kecksburg.
Now, I heard things like it looked like an acorn and there was hieroglyphics on the side. Have you ever talked to anybody who actually said those things?
Yeah, two of our senior firemen, they've passed away now, Jim Mays and Robert Bittner. they were here and they drove the trucks during that period. And during that period, I wasn't a farmer. I had no idea. You know, I was just a normal person coming out here to see what was going on. And they went to their graves telling me that that is true, that something did happen here in Kecksburg.
When you saw the object streaking through the sky, what was your idea at the time? Did you think it was a meteor at first, or what?
Yeah, back then, you know, you didn't have cell phones and cameras like we do today, but you know, everybody was curious at that time to see what it was. And you know, we come out, we were young, and we did see the military down there, so obviously there was something, because it only takes 15 minutes to get from Greensburg to here. They was already there, so they had to be tracking it. Somebody was tracking it.
And with the things that are going on right now in Congress, are you confident that maybe we might finally get an answer? What happened in Kecksburg?
Yeah, we're hopeful that you know, something will break loose, and we will finally get some information on what happened in Kecksburg.
That would be nice. If it turns out to be extraterrestrial, would that surprise you?
You know, I'll keep an open mind.
All right, Ron, I really appreciate your time today. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you.